books lately. And I was like, oh, let's do a haul. And I picked up the bag. Let me get the bag for you. That whole bag is full of books. I have like 2 books from Amazon. I have 2 like little fun books to show you, and then the rest of them are from half price books. So I'm gonna start off with like the fun books first. My husband got me 2 books, and the reason why I call them fun books is because this is what they are. These are 2 little like collector type books, and they are actually all old Vine quotes. If you don't know what Vine is, it was an app back in the day, kind of like TikTok, where you could film like a 6-second video and put it up. But the thing about Vine is that it was like so freaking hilarious, and then one day they just decided to close the app down, and that's how you get a lot of your like new age YouTubers and TikTokers like Liza Koshy, David Dobrik, people like that. They would just make like really funny videos. This is just a book full of Vine quotes, and my husband and I are constantly quoting quotes from Vine, and so he got these for me. I thought that was so incredibly sweet, because almost like every conversation we have is like there's a Vine quote thrown in there. So I wanted to show these to you. He got me 2. I think he said that there's 3, so I need to get the 3rd because I'm entering like my book collecting era, and so I'm just trying to find like some really fun, cute books to add to my bookshelf collection that aren't necessarily like for reading. Okay, so let's get into the Amazon books that I got. The first one is, sorry girl, you're shaking. The first one is Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. This is by Joya Goffney. I have been wanting to pick up this book for a long time. I read another book by Joya Goffney that I shared with you guys. I also think I put that book in a book haul too. But after I finished the first book by her, and it was called Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, I loved that book so much. Oh my god. I drank a bunch of lemonade before this. So whoa, I'm having like a lot of acid reflux. Anyway, when I finished that book, I looked up her discography on Amazon, and I saw this book, and this follows a girl named Monique, and her dad's a preacher, and she is just like a quintessential good girl, and everyone thinks like because her dad's a preacher that she's kind of like this good girl, and that's what the story like takes you on the journey of her like coming to terms with things and like figuring things out in like a non-religious sense. And that really spoke to me, not because my dad's a preacher, but because growing up I went to a private Christian school, so kind of all of my upbringing was very like Christian centric, and when I got older I struggled so much with like this hold that religion has on you, and it made like discovering myself and like coming into adulthood System of a Down is one of my all-time favorite bands, and so when I saw this, I was like, fuck yeah, like a memoir on one of my favorite like lead singers from my favorite band. But I need to slow down, I'm also talking really fast. This book was nothing like I was expecting it to be. It just was so good. If you don't know about Serge, he is a Armenian American, and he's the front singer for System of a Down, which is like a very political, anti-government band. And oh, just so freaking good. And this book just really touched on, like, obviously, like, starting a band and being in a band and like touring and stuff, but a lot of it was focused on the Armenian genocide and kind of Serge and his journey of like what home meant to him, because he is Armenian by blood but was born in Lebanon, and grew up, you know, there, and then came to America with his family, so he doesn't really have a place that to call home. You know, like, I was born on American soil, but my dad's black and my mom is Panamanian, but I'm an American, and it just, I want to film a whole video about me reading that book. It was such an amazing book, you guys. Like, oh, it very eye-opening, very political. So if you're not like a political girl and you don't like to read political things, it's probably not the book for you. But it's a must read, a must read. Okay, getting into the bag, literally. I also realized I got 3 books from Target. I don't know how I forgot that, but the first book I picked up is Minks by Sophie Lark. I got this specifically because I saw a girl that I follow on Instagram talk about this book a lot. It is like a little bit of a smuttier book, and if you know me, you know that like smut is my jam. I believe it's like Billionaire Boss, An Employee, Little Rendezvous type book. But like I said, I only got it because somebody I follow on Instagram talked about it so much, and I just love the cover. So that's one that I got. The next one is Bridgerton. Oh my goodness. If you have followed me for a while, you might have seen many months ago that I read Queen Charlotte, also by Julia Quinn, part of like the Bridgerton series. I really enjoyed that video. I'm not a period piece girl. I don't enjoy period pieces, but I really enjoyed that book, so I was like, you know what, I want to dive into the Bridgerton series. There also is like so many freaking books for this like series. But I got Bridgerton, The Duke, and I. Seriously, Target, knock it off with these stupid stickers. Like, put them on the back or something. But this just follows Daphne's story, I believe. And I'm so excited. I'm thinking I'm going to like this series a lot, because I'm also needing a series to like get lost in, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if it's good. Either way, I'm about to find out, bitch. Like, and then the third book that I picked up from Target, okay, Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Now, in my first reading wrap-up, my first ever, I believe, maybe my first or my second on this channel, I read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and I absolutely hated it. I freaking hated that book. I just remember that like the author was not giving the characters enough time to like have dialogue. Every time they would talk in that book, she would interrupt like the back and forth with like some kind of internal dialogue. So I don't really know why I would pick up another one of her books. I think I even said that I would like never read another book by her. But this one just like spoke to me because it's like another STEM book. I believe they're food scientists that fall in love, or they end up having some kind of relationship. I don't know. I read the blurb on Instagram and I was like, damn, like that sounds really good. And then I went to Target and I was already gonna get those two books, and they were like having a sale, so I decided to pick this one up. I'm really, really feeling hopeful about this one. I'm hoping that it's gonna be better. Maybe some other people had the same feedback and she changed her writing style. I don't know, but obviously we're going to find out. Already moving into the half price books. I got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 books from half price books. I got some classics. I got some good ones. So let's dive into it, okay? The first one is The Great Gatsby. Girl, I've got like a frog and bubbles in my throat. So I picked this book up because one day my husband and I were like in the car, and he was like, oh, we were talking about something, and he was like, oh, you know, like what's The Great Gatsby about? I never saw it. And I was like, bitch, like y'all never read The Great Gatsby in school? And he was like, no. And so I kind of was like telling him what it's about, and I was like, wait a minute, like I need to reread the book as an adult to get like the gist and to kind of just feel that vibe again. It's pretty much a story about like a rich man trying to buy a girl's love, Daisy Buchanan. And I'm a little nervy to read this one because it's like an older book and the writing is like very old-timey, you know what I'm saying? But it's also just a classic, like OG love story. Excuse me. So I felt like it needed to be on my shelf. I mean, look how loved this book has been. I mean, seriously, like she's been through some shit, but I'm glad that she's with me now. And I'm glad that I can like read this book again. The next one is again a older book. It is The Kite Runner. Honestly, I don't know what this book is about. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked this book up because I believe a few months ago, ASMR Alexi, who is an ASMR artist that I love very, very much, and she did like a little reading wrap up, and I think she talked about this book. Maybe I'm making things up in my head, but she said like this was a tearjerker and it like wrecked her, and I love a good book that can wreck me, so I wanted to pick this one up. I've had this in like my Amazon cart for so long, but the book is like kind of expensive on Amazon. And I hate to sound like a little cheapskate, but I was like, bitch, like I'm at a half price books, like this book has been loved, so I picked it up, and I'm actually really excited to read this though. So I don't wanna spoil it by reading the blurb. Maybe I'll just go in blind. I don't know. Next book that I picked up is The Lonely Hearts Book Club. I have seen this book on Amazon so many times, and then I spotted it again in the store at Half Price Books, and I was like, what? Like, it's destined to be like we need to be together. This book follows the character named Salone, who is a librarian, and she has a reoccurring like customer always comes to see her, named Arthur, and one day he doesn't show up, and more days pass by, and she's like, Bella, where the hell you been, loca? So she goes to find him and finds that he is bedridden, and so she pretty much sets up a book club to like lift his spirits and be with him again. And I love that's the synopsis, and I love that. Like, I love the sound of that. And I don't think that this is like a romantic romance book, which I'm also really excited about, because sometimes, as much as I love my romance and my smut, sometimes I just need platonic love too. And I feel like this might be a platonic, like, found family friendship book. So I'm very, very excited to read this one. The second to last book that I picked up, I actually kind of forgot that I picked this one up. I picked up Heartbreak For Hire by Sonia Hartle. Maybe that L silent. I actually don't remember picking this book up at all. And this book is about Brinkley, and she was like an academic scholar and was following in her mother's footsteps. But what people don't know is that she works for like a Heartbreak For Hire kind of company, where you can like hire people to break other people's hearts. And her boss is going to finally hire a male heartbreaker, and she doesn't know if that's like something she wants to do. So the story kind of follows him like impeding in her life. And it's, now that I like am refreshing myself, I remember why I picked this up, because it's not like something that I've ever read before. So I think that I was feeling really excited to read something different, and it's just so cute. So little, just a little book, and I'm really excited to read this one. Okay, last book that we have for the haul. We've been moving and grooving tonight, so I'm really proud of us. But the last book that I have for the haul is kind of like an unexpected find, and I will explain why I picked this up. But it is All Good People by Ashley Flowers. Now, Ashley Flowers has a podcast, a very popular, famous podcast called Crime Junkies, and I guess that she wrote a book. This is what she looks like, Little Miss Ashley Flowers. I used to listen to Crime Junkie all the time, like 4 or 5 years ago, but as time progressed, and not that we got woke, but people started to wake up more, you kind of come to the realization that Crime Junkies is very exploitative, and I feel, in my personal opinion, that they prey on people to get these stories to share on their podcast. And me and a lot of other people really just don't like how dirty the podcast feels, and everyone is starting to kind of realize that like these murder mysteries and these murder-centric podcasts just are really done in bad taste these days. So I do understand that, and I've seen this book many times at Target, but I felt comfortable to buy it from Half Price Books, because only under the fact that I'm purchasing this from Half Price Books and not from like Target or Walmart. So Ashley Flowers is not getting any of my money, and that's the only reason why I felt comfortable enough to buy it. And I was intrigued. This is Jacobs, who was discovered in a ditch hours after her family awoke to find her gone. Margot Davies was 6 at the time, the same age as January, and they were next door neighbors. In the 20 years since, Margot has grown up and moved away and became a big city journalist, but she always been haunted by the feeling that it could have been her. And the worst part is January's killer has never been brought to justice. So that's just like half